So welcome everyone, welcome to this special Equinox Soul Alignment transmission where together with the Harmonic Council of Presence and the Teachers of Light, I bring an intuitive message for this seasonal portal which is in service to your highest good and your greatest joy. So thank you for being here. And I want to share that the recent eclipse gateway, it really may have stirred truths within you, perhaps unexpected endings, and even unspoken grief. And this is the subtle dissolving of connections that once felt really so deep. And for me, this eclipse revealed the completion of long-standing soul contracts, souls I've probably journeyed with through many lifetimes. And each time we've been playing these different roles for our mutual growth, for our soul expansion. And this time I was shown that the lesson was completion. I didn't need to kind of keep looping in these painful cycles anymore. I'd learned my lessons. And so it was a call for release. And then, of course, the associated grief that comes with that. And, for me, it was grief for the pain that I'd endured. It was grief in the knowing that, some souls are choosing to remain on the old timeline, and they're going to close out other contracts that they've came in here with as a soul. And, that's okay. That's okay too. Each path really is sacred. And what made it what made it harder, I guess, is that these completions came from within my own family lineage. And it was really a closing out of entanglements and performance, to belong, to name what's no longer true, what no longer resonates, and to see how those ancestral patterns have been perpetuating in the family line, and to be the one to end all that. And for me, it was on both sides of the family, so it's pretty heavy, deep soul work, right? And so maybe you're feeling that too. Maybe you've experienced something similar. And so for those of us choosing the new timeline, it's really a time to fully step into the light of clarity, of peace, and of reclaiming our joy, of that reclaimed joy that maybe got buried for all those times where we kept cycling in these patterns. And as I've talked about before, and as I'll share more of as I show up here, is how this all connects with the body. And so as these relationships were unraveling, then my fascia also began to release. And it was releasing these layers of grief, of control and entanglements that were really stored in the tissue of the body, in the cells. And this is something that's not really talked about, and even for me came as a bit of a surprise. And I was like, oh, okay, this is what's happening. And at the same time, again, it kind of brings that relief, like, oh, finally all that tension and pain I'd been carrying for so long is finally kind of releasing. But at the same time, it's still a bit uncomfortable, I'll be honest. But I'm allowing the process and finding support to help me through that. And so, I realized through this unraveling, through this process, that I had been the one that had just held it all together. And really, it was time to let go of that feeling of responsibility, which really was over responsibility to others' paths, and really letting go and allowing them to make their choices and decisions with love and compassion and with grace. And so as the fascia was unwinding, it really mirrored this soul unwinding, this kind of sacred loosening of all that was never truly mine to hold. Take a breath. And so at the equinox, this is where light and shadow are perfectly balanced, light and dark are in perfect balance. And we're called to return to our 0 point, to our center, to our home frequency. And so this is not about, that performance and pretending that, oh, I'm okay, everything's okay. Really, if you haven't been experiencing grief and that grief is still present, then I really invite you to sit with that, really feel that, let it move through the body, and then let it release, allow it to move out, and let it go. And stay open to maybe guidance and insights that you receive during this time. We always get new knowledge, those ahas, like, oh, that's why, this is happening, or why that happened. And then, stay compassionate with yourself, that tender embrace that you long for. We need to really give it to ourselves right now. And it's important to stay in our sovereignty, in our true alignment and our true essence during this time, because it can be a bit chaotic. We might feel that pull to go back into old patterns. And so, the path that's really opening now is for us to choose, well, what is an energetic match? And then no longer act from those old patterns of perhaps guilt or obligation or seeking approval from others. So, I really invite you to, let this equinox mark your moment of true soul alignment, of making that choice and conscious choice, right? Mm. So let's bring in a code of creation, a creation code activation. So I'm going to invite you to maybe this time place one hand on your heart and one hand on your sacral and your lower belly. And just breathe here for a moment. Feel that balance point within you where the light and dark meet in stillness. Just breathe here for a moment. And so we're going to bring our awareness to our pineal gland, which is just behind the eyes in the center of the head. So you might gently raise your eyes. Just feel that tension behind the eyes. This is the center of your head. And just again, breathe here. This is where we receive our divine guidance. This is where my oversoul communicates through the pineal gland. And so as we're breathing here, we're just going to spend a moment just acknowledging and reflecting what we're releasing at this time with grace, with ease, with breath. And then on the next inhale, just imagine visualizing this beautiful golden light coming in from above your head, down through the crown chakra, filling up the center of your head with this beautiful liquid golden light. And then breathe that light down to the heart space. And then on the next exhale, just imagine radiating that light all around you like a golden sphere. This is your space. While we're here, if you feel a little bit unsteady, maybe from what's being released, just going to drop into the earth, drop our energy down to the earth and anchor it there. So on the next inhale, just breathe in that golden liquid light, maybe from the edge of the sphere into the heart space. And then on the exhale, just imagine dropping all of that breath, that energy, that which is you, anchoring it down to Mother Earth. Just feel that steady presence being held by Gaia. Good. Well done. Okay, we just breathe here. And so we're going to bring through a creation code to both support this, any final residue of release, as well as anchoring in that new timeline, kind of like a rebirth. We're ready to turn the page. We've been cycling in this one chapter for a long time. It's like reading the same page over and over, right? And we're ready to turn that page and embrace a new beginning, new path. And so the code coming in is 3182275. So just imagine seeing that sequence lined up, and it's going to activate in your DNA like a strand of DNA, this code. We're being recoding. So we're going to activate the DNA in the pineal gland. Just imagine that code coming in. And as it activates the neurons, the electrons, the hydrogen atoms, and they spin, activating this code and sending it to every cell in the body now, holding this new high frequency to enable us to step more fully onto our new path with greater ease and grace. And as I was sharing earlier, whenever we're doing energy work, it always affects the body. And so what we're doing here is we're anchoring a higher frequency, higher vibrations, so that it will allow us to make those shifts easier. So the consciousness, so the body follows the consciousness, right? Okay, so just keep breathing. Notice what you notice. Maybe you feel a bit of relief or release. Beautiful. When you feel ready, you can open your eyes again, return to the room. Okay, so this creation code is going to continue weaving through your crystalline structure. And so over the coming week, just notice anything more that's coming up to be released, that's ready for release. And then also what is ready to rise in you now. Because really, I see this as like a resurrection gateway. It's the point of energetic return to a true soul path and to who you are called to become. And so, you might sit in the stillness on the equinox and ask yourself, well, what is wishing to be birthed through me now? What is ready to unravel? What is the new wanting to be birthed through me? And then you might ask, well, what gifts and skills or what new wisdom am I ready to nurture? And as you sit with these questions, just allow the body to respond. We want to breathe life into our divine blueprint, reawaken that where perhaps it was dormant because we were distracted elsewhere with other obligations, and these patterns that we're releasing now because we've come to the end of that line. And so whilst we're in this portal window over the next week also, really notice before committing to anything, like somebody asks you to do something, or even in work or in relationships, just pause and ask yourself, well, is this a match for my true home frequency? Or is it like a pull from the past pattern? And you'll notice it because you'll feel maybe you feel that kind of repelled energy or contraction, or you might start to feel more open, like we're stepping onto a new path. So really let your body feel the answer before kind of like your mind takes over and tries to logically think it out, right? Because really your gift here is your presence, and your presence knows the way. And so as this portal opens, what are you ready to complete? What are you ready now to release? And what part of you is ready to rise? And so if you'd like to walk the next part of your path together, then you're warmly invited to join me this Friday for the Soul Cafe Manifestation Gathering. It's free and it's a space where we connect with harmonic presence and start to manifest our soul path. You know, what is it we're here to bring through and birth through us. So I'll drop the link below. And of course, if you're ready to go deeper, then I offer soul path mentorship, sovereign guidance. There's also energy healing. So feel free to explore the offerings on my website and maybe see what calls to your heart, you know, most at this time where you are on your particular path, on your journey. And so let this light and shadow of this equinox really be your guide, awaken that new wisdom, and let your home frequency start to guide you home towards your unique path and purpose. So thank you for being here, and I will see you again soon.